Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now. Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to an Ade Gman special. Remember, this is brought to you by Undisputed. Thank you so much to them for their support. They do have a new DLC pack for you guys as well. This one is The Takeover, and obviously the main man is Teofimo Lopez. It's available right now at playundisputed.com. Fingers crossed, G-Man, we do get Teofimo Lopez in there against Shakur Stevenson. What were they saying? Starting next year, so maybe January, February?
That'd be the dream, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If anyone is going to be the problem, I think The Takeover might be.
Yeah.
We should have had him. We shouldn't be getting Devin Haney versus
Brian Norman.
Should have been Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah. What interests me about that fight as well, Shakur Stevenson's moving up, which I don't know. Every time I've spoken to Shakur Stevenson, we spoke about this jump because I always say like he could go to 147. He's like, no, I'm fine at 135.
Yeah,
like, those guys at 140 and 147 are pretty big. So all of a sudden he's taken on one of the biggest 140 guys, because Teo's actually quite... Yeah, he's big. Teo looks like he's ready to go 147 now. You know, he's bigger than Devin. He's as big as Brian Norman, I think. So there's going to be a bit of a size difference, but skills pay the bills, baby.
And we've seen Teo struggle with movers in the past. And this is not a Jermaine Ortiz. This is the best. This is one of the best movers in the game.
Yeah. But I think Teo's the best 140-pounder as well.
Yeah, I kind of... Well, considering...
everyone else has kind of fallen...
Everyone's fallen by the wayside, and Arnold Barbosa, we were looking at him thinking, oh man, he's good. And yeah, there's being good, and then there's being Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, so let's hope, as I said, that Teo stays busy next year, because I did a video, well, actually, I don't think I've even put it out yet, but I said who's going to be the next face of boxing.
Oh,
right, because we're getting the Canelo, and we're going to talk about Canelo in a second. Obviously, Fury and AJ, we don't know what's going to happen with those two. Who's going to be that person? And America have had like 7 or 8 guys where you think, oh, it could be him, Javante, or it could be him, Ryan. No one seems to want to take the mantle. And I look at Teo, and yes, he says some stupid stuff, but there's something about him where I feel like he's got the personality to carry it. I don't know if he will, but if he stays active, at least that helps.
It does help, but I don't know. I don't think he's the guy. I think he has the potential. Then? That's a good question.
Who is the guy?
I mean, in America, I think we're going to have to be looking at people who are just coming up now.
Really?
I mean, I really do. I think I was convinced it was going to be Ryan. It might still be, but he blows hot and cold so much. He either looks brilliant or he loses.
Yeah. Jesse Bam Rodriguez has an opportunity,
possibly,
but doesn't talk enough.
No.
Doesn't talk enough. Benavidez? Because of his violence, maybe?
If he was to go in and maybe, I think he needs a signature win at 175 pounds.
Has he not had one? Oh, you mean signature in terms of Bertobiev Bivol? Because I thought David Morrell was quite a good win. But...
It's a good win, but I think that those two guys will get people talking. And if he beats one of them, then we could be onto something, because he has star power. Yeah. Benavidez is the guy, because he is young enough, he's athletic, throws a lot of shots, he's very good. But I just think people would look at that resume, as good as it is, but they're like, do we know any of these big guys? Because he never got the Canelo fight. He fought Dav Morrell, but Dav Morrell is not a name. I think he needs a Bivol or a Beterbiev.
Is there an issue that in order to be a big star in your country, you must have to fight in your country? You have to fight sometimes even in an area in your country. Obviously, a lot of the big fights now are going to Saudi. For example, there is a lot of talk about Teo versus Shakur being in Saudi. Brian Norman versus Devin Haney is in Saudi. You mentioned Benavidez, or at least I did. Him versus Anthony Yard is in Saudi. Do you know what I mean? So I do wonder if that might be a problem going forward. Yes, we get the fights, but in terms of growing them, where they fill out stadiums, like most of the time, Dylan White would have done the O2 Arena.
Oh, easily.
Yeah,
easily.
Do you know what I mean? So I wonder if there's an issue there.
I think there was a big thing back in the day with like HBO Showtime. If you could do good numbers in New York and you could do them in Las Vegas, those two cities, if you could do them there, then you were pretty much halfway there. If you could fill out, say, the MGM, or if you could fill out Madison Square Garden, that was it. It was a wrap.
Yeah.
If you could do that, then you can go from strength to strength. I don't think either. Like Teofimo Lopez, he questionable could he even fill out MGM, the full MGM.
No.
Full Madison Square
but I do think Teo versus Shakur could.
Really?
Well, it'll get close.
It'll get close
because you know the face-off will be incredible.
It'll be
the
amazing,
press conference, these guys will start talking. So, and that just helps. As much as people don't like that sometimes, so they think it's a bit WWE, it opens up doors to the casual fans. When they see two guys shouting at each other and saying some stupid shit, casual fans like, oh, 1 second, what's going on? Like, is there something going on over there? And I feel like these two would do that. Plus, you know, it's going to be a decent fight.
It will be a decent fight. Do you know who? It's only you mentioned it there. Do you know who? Not disappointed in terms of how his career has been going. I think it's going quite well, but that he's not a bigger name as Boot Dennis.
Yeah.
Like that guy has the style, everything, the flair, everything to be a big star, and he's just not. And do you know what I think it is? I'm not having a go at Eddie Hearn or anything. I think it's the matchmaking. I think he's fighting guys, even now, go to 154, he needs those big fights. He needs those because at the end of the day, David Avanesian, it's like, okay, he's a good fighter, but like, they're going to put butts in seats.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, there's only so long you can matchmake him against people that we don't care about.
Yes.
Like even Stanionis, unification fight, Stanionis was good, but okay, you beat Stanionis, it has to be a bigger name.
Yeah.
I mean, Virgil Ortiz has been screaming for you. Erickson Lubin's there, just as something exciting. Another American maybe. Sometimes you need that. Like the American fans won't relate to him fighting non-Americans that we don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even know some of these guys that he's fighting, so that doesn't help. Anyway, look, we could go on and on and on and on, but this is Canelo Terence Crawford special.
It is.
Because we are only, so guys, we are filming this on Monday. So we're only, 5 days away.
See, I'm already smiling.
From what people
smiling thinking about
the
this
fight of the century. I'm going to be very honest with you. And I'm not just saying this because I'm not working on the event. And maybe that's the reason, because I'm not working on it. It doesn't feel like the fight of the century. I don't feel like I'm 5 days away from something. Like, you know, when I was 5 days away from Fury Usyk, I was like, oh my God, this feels like, and like, I got the feeling. Even when I was 5 days away from Bivol Beterbiev 1, I had this feeling like, oh my God, it's actually going to happen. I don't have this feeling for some weird, I don't know why that is.
Well, I don't think it's because you're not working on it. I genuinely, I'm looking forward to it, but I don't have that same Usyk Fury feeling, for example. When we did Usyk Fury, when that happened, it was like Monday, when we knew it was fight week, it was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Count the minutes down, count the days down, everything. I'm excited for this fight, but I don't have that feeling.
Yeah.
Certainly not for that.
I wonder if it's because, like, and I said this on a video I did the other day, so apologies if I'm repeating myself. But when you think of the biggest fights ever, so Mayweather Pacquiao, you had the antagonist Mayweather, happy to play that role, would say all the shit in the world because he was trying to sell it. Mayweather McGregor, you had two.
Yeah, two of them.
You had two. Do you know what I mean? Fury Usyk, Fury, John Fury. Do you know what I mean? So you had the whole Fury clan, and Usyk was happy to play the guy that doesn't really say much English, but you had someone. With these two, neither of them are playing this role. Nope. So no one's chatting shit. No one's really trying to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to run with it and sell it. So it kind of feels like, because there's no smack talk, it's lacking something. Don't get me wrong, look, I know it's going to be an incredible fight. Bivol Beterbiev didn't have smack talk, but that was not billed as the biggest fight of the century.
No.
Do you know what I mean? This is billed as it, so it almost needs a bit more. Like, how did we not get a Max Kellerman face-off?
But I was just, literally took the words out of my mouth. It's like those fights, Bivol Beterbiev, Fury Usyk, we had build-ups long before fight week. We had face-offs. We had press conferences. We had this fighter said this and this fighter said this. So you were invested for months because you were like, oh, this month Fury did this month they had the face-off, this month this, and then you get to fight week. Whereas with this, it's like they had the press conference in New York, in Saudi, and in LA, I think, and that was fight week.
You know what else was lacking? It's just come to me. Because you said Bivol, because you mentioned all those fights, what did we get? Trick question. That's an easy question. What did we get from all those fights that we haven't got from this one?
A massive trailer.
Yes. I like the way our brain thinks.
I knew
we got incredible trailers. Like that first Bivol Beterbiev trailer.
That was the best.
Incredible.
That was actually the best.
Yeah.
It made you like a Viking movie you wanted to watch. It was incredible.
Why have we not got that for this? Out of interest, I wonder why.
That's actually a good question because this warrants it. Unless it's because it's on Netflix. I don't know. I'm just speculating there with that one. This warrants it.
Strange.
Remember the 5v5, Eddie and Frank? That was the best. That actually might be my favourite.
Fury, Ngannou, the first one. But, you know, all of them to the extent. Obviously, we have our favourites, but all of them gave us trailers and we got excited by the trailers.
Oh, man. People used to count the minutes down. When's the trailer going to drop? When's the trailer going to drop? And once it dropped, it did rave numbers on every platform, and people were like, right, I'm invested now.
Yeah. Are people also a bit underwhelmed because it isn't your usual Riyadh season fight card? Is there a bit of an issue there? There are some good names. I think there's some good names on there, but we've seen better.
For sure, we have seen better, but I think that it's fair to say this is kind of on par with like Fury Usyk one. You know, that was Fury Usyk too. I mean, those cards were good, but they weren't like stacked.
Yeah.
And I like this card. I mean, there's some interesting fights on it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the issue. For me, it is a strange one. I think the big issue is that the build-up has just been, you know, both guys are training. They're not really giving interviews. There's no needle between them. And you need that. And even if there's no needle, like Beterbiev Bivol didn't really have needle, but it was, we seen face-offs, we seen trailers.
That's
we were
the issue,
constantly being bombarded with it.
Because it doesn't have a home. So say this was on ESPN.
Yes.
You'd go on ESPN's YouTube channel, you'll see content. If this was on DAZN, you'd go onto the YouTube channel and you'd see loads, whether or not it was good content, doesn't matter, you'll see content. Because it's on Netflix, although I expected the Ring magazine to maybe put a few more pieces out on their YouTube channel.
So did I. But you were right. The Zone would have maybe you and Darren doing a roundtable.
Yeah.
You know, even if it wasn't the fighters, you'd have the Zone content of people talking about it. Again, we haven't even had a face-off. I mean, that seems almost unheard of.
I can't believe Max Kellerman hasn't done a face-off.
He's working
just from
it,
nostalgia.
yes.
Like, and now that we know Canelo speaks great English, like fantastic English,
fluent now.
and he is a bit of an antagonizer. Like, if anything, he's happy to play that role of, you know, he'll swear and say shit. How we didn't get a face-off between those two with Max Kellerman, that alone, because it's Max, would have done 1 million views.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's Max.
Because it's nostalgia. He did the
Yeah.
face-offs for HBO. He's working on this show. So why is he not doing it?
Yeah.
Maybe
All right.
maybe it's the fighters though. Maybe one of them. Maybe Terence Crawford is just like,
I'm not doing that.
I'm only doing this. This is it. That's what I want to do.
And I'm telling you, from someone that works in boxing, that happens behind the scenes a lot. Fighters will say, no, I'm only doing this. I'm not speaking to that person. I'll do that one. You've got me for 2 hours. I've been around it. I've seen it happen. So it wouldn't shock me if two of the biggest stars in boxing started to put their foot down, because this is business and this is serious business. I think I've asked you about 100 times who's going to win.
Yes.
And 100 times you said Canelo, and you said it with chest up as well. You've been very, very confident. A few days out, still as confident?
Yep.
Okay.
Resounding yes. Canelo all the way.
Okay.
Done a prediction video, said it. Do you know what? I done a prediction video. I actually recorded it yesterday. I made sure to look at as much of Crawford as I can, to kind of almost, I wanted to be as fair as I could be. People knew I was picking Canelo, but like, see how Crawford can win. And honestly, every scenario I think of, I just think, nah, Canelo's got that. I just can't see Crawford winning this fight. I really can't. As good, and listen, I've said it several times. I love Crawford and Canelo. It's like, I'm going to be disappointed whoever loses, because I like them both so much.
Yeah.
But I just can't see Terence Crawford overcoming the size, the power of Canelo. And listen, you're only as good as your last fight. Against Madrimov a year ago, he didn't look amazing. I thought he won it, but it was close, very close. He's a year older now.
Yeah.
You know, at that stage, and we talk about it like Dmitry Bivol, Ade Beterbiev, right? Ade Beterbiev, between one fight to the other, although he's still elite, but you did see a little bit of slippage.
Towards the end of that fight.
Down.
Yeah, towards the end of the Bivol fight, that was the first time I looked at him and thought, okay, you're 40. Whereas normally he looks like he's 30 still. And physically looks like he's 30.
You're talking bigger guys where they're both light heavyweights, Ade Beterbiev, you know, big light heavyweight. The slippage will probably start earlier for a welterweight / 154 pounder. So I think at this stage now, Terence Crawford, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. People say about Canelo's legs, this, that, and the other. I still think Crawford would be the faster of the two. But we might notice, oh, God, he's a bit slower than I remember.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Not with the prediction, but I couldn't agree more with the reasons for picking Canelo. I'm almost upset that Terence didn't have an in-between fight. It's risky, right? Because so much money's on the table, the biggest he's ever made.
I'll tell you something about him.
Well, no, not really, because he's been doing it for 5 years. So if he just did it this time, I would say, okay, maybe, but because he's been a part-time fighter for the last 5 years, he literally had one fight a year since 2019, I think. So that's just how he operates now. Maybe that's him deciding that my body at 33 at the time, or 32, can only do that. Who knows? Who knows what these guys go through with hand damage? You just don't know, where they're trying to preserve themselves. But I'm almost upset that he didn't have one in between at 160 to feel what it's like with that extra weight on your legs. Because I look at him now, and I looked at him against Madrimov, and it's almost a different physique. And I mean, sparring, but having to carry that physique, this new physique, I saw Jamel Charlo's legs completely go against Canelo.
Yeah.
And that was him jumping from 154 to 168. But at least he had 30 fights at 154.
Yes.
Let's be honest, this is a welterweight in Crawford going to 168. So he's packed on 20 pounds of muscle, really.
Just put this in context, right? Terence Crawford is very rare we see it nowadays, but we did see the way, the morning after weight for Terence Crawford when he fought Madrimov. He was 168. So what that tells me, I know he's packed on more size, but this is essentially someone who's fully rehydrated, walking around at super middleweight, and Canelo's having to cut down. So you're talking, God knows, a stone right off the bat. Canelo will have on Crawford.
And you know, as much as Canelo's legs have slowed as well.
Definitely have. No doubt.
Clearly slowed.
100%.
He will make Crawford work.
Yes.
So those legs, and Crawford does have better legs, but those legs will be tested straight away. Does Crawford have the legs to move and adjust and switch for 12 rounds?
But then again, that's the question. He had it at 147 pounds, but 20 plus pounds heavier. Will he still have it? And older by a year, nearly 38. He's basically 38 at the end of the month. Will he have it? And Crawford's someone who likes to stand and trade. He's not He's not like a William Skull who's just going to move and run around the ring. He's going to stand and trade with Canelo. Any opportunity you give to Canelo, he will light you up. We haven't seen him throw those combinations because he hasn't really needed to. But I think against Crawford, he will.
I'm not. That's my only gripe with that, because he hasn't Yes, he has needed to.
You really think so?
Well, why hasn't he done it? No one wants to go overtime. So are you almost saying that he could have stopped these guys, but he didn't want to stop them? He wanted to go the extra 3 or 4 rounds.
I definitely believe that there was fights in there that for whatever reason, maybe it was because he gassed against Dimitri Bivol and he was worried about gassing again, but I thought Berlanga was there for the taking. I thought Munguia at times was there for the taking. I thought
Munguia was. When he knocked down Munguia, exactly. I thought he could have gone through the gears a bit, and he didn't. That surprised me.
And I think that's worry, because he was fighting Dimitri Bivol. He was completely outboxed, but even in a fight which wasn't exactly, he didn't even set the highest volume in that fight. He barely threw any punches the first 4 rounds. He still managed to gas. Maybe Canelo at this stage is actually more worried about his gas tank and thinking, all right, unless I know this combination is going to land, and unless I know I can take you out, I'm happy enough to just go through the rounds because you're not going to beat me.
Would Crawford... Okay, let's play a bit of a game here. Would Crawford beat Munguia?
I think so.
Would Crawford beat Caleb Plant?
I don't know. I'd probably say no.
Okay.
I think Plant, although he does struggle a bit with stamina, he is massive.
Yeah, so size means something here.
It does. And Canelo is shorter. Caleb Plant's what, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah. I
mean, it's a massive height and reach difference. Plus, he's huge. I don't think so. I think he'd be able to shut Crawford down pretty easily on the outside.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this fight. You know what it is with my Crawford pick, and this doesn't come down to, like, you bring up some good points, and my thing is always, my reasoning for Crawford is because I think Canelo is no longer Canelo.
Agreed.
But I guess it's how much he's deteriorated, because we've watched old Canelo tapes. We did the Billy Joe Saunders one the other day. That guy doesn't exist. Physically, he looks completely different. Yeah. Like, he looked incredible against Billy Joe Saunders. And
he looked more solid, didn't he?
Yes, looked more solid. His feet was lighter. We saw more combinations. And even in that fight, it wasn't a lot of combinations, but we saw 3s and 4s. I watched his last 3 fights, and I'm telling you now, it's only 1s and 2s.
Yeah.
1s and 2s, 1s and 2s. And I feel like you're going to need 1, 2s, 3s and 4s against Crawford, not just 1s and 2s. Or Willie, I don't know. But I feel like we need to see more combinations. Crawford could win a lot of the early rounds. Crawford could bank a lot of the early rounds and then hang on.
I think so. And again, people don't talk enough about this. Canelo is still a big puncher. Still one of the biggest punchers in the division. You don't want to give him a free shot. And I think a lot of the guys, and remember the left hook he landed on, I think it was Berlanga. That was quick. If you say he's slowing down, that left hook he landed on Berlanga that dropped him was nice and quick. Will Crawford take that punch as well? I doubt it. Will
Crawford's power come up to 168?
I don't think so.
We didn't really see Madrimov hurt at 154. He landed at some big shots on Madrimov, and I didn't really see the legs. I'm trying to remind myself. I don't remember seeing the legs wobble with Madrimov.
They never noticeably hurt him. And this was a guy, Crawford, who at welterweight was hurting everybody, Errol Spence included. Never hurt Madrimov. Canelo has look, again, if Triple G, if Danny Jacobs, Kovalev, Bivol aren't hurting you, yeah, I'm sorry, Crawford's not hurting you either.
Okay, but then there's an accumulation effect. Surely, as you say, if Triple G...
But Canelo's got very good defense. So yeah, you could say Crawford has the accumulation. You could accumulate it, but he's still got to land it.
Yeah, but has Canelo fought anyone with his hands as good as Crawford recently? Like that hand speed, the ability to switch it, punches from nowhere. Like, we've seen Crawford land punches from different angles. I'm like, where's that come from? Like, I always refer to the one that stopped Kell Brook. I had to kind of watch it back a few times.
Half jab,
I was like, where the hell does that come from? Yeah. Has he had anyone like that?
No, not
But then
since-
again,
no,
I guess
since
Crawford's not
Bivol.
had anyone like Canelo.
Exactly. I mean, you mentioned Kell Brook. Okay, that was a weight drain. The next fight Kell Brook had, he retired.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's very different. And Kell Brook should never have been fighting at welterweight in 2020. You know, should have been fighting that against Errol Spence 3 years earlier. So, again, good points you make. But, again, this isn't Canelo. And Canelo has been there, seen it and done. I mean, this is a guy, I think he's got 67 pro fights. This would be his 67th or 68th.
Dude, see, you said it as a positive. I said it as a negative. See, whereas you say that, like, he's got experience, and I look at it and think, my God, there's a lot of wear and tear on the body.
There is. That's what
I'm
I'm
like,
talking
I saw the sparring that he brought in. I'm thinking, like,
Boots
Ennis,
in it, yeah.
I'm like, that's frightening. But it's good in terms of, if you're Canelo's like, well, you know, it probably won't get as good as this, but that's damage. Like, that's 20 years of sparring, 20 years of fight camps, 20 years of being in there, at least for the last 10 anyway, of fighting the very best. Does that not just catch up? Does, you know, that father time chat, does that just, I guess it could catch up to both, but surely Canelo's got more on the body than Crawford.
Yeah, I would say probably. Probably. Crawford, if you look at his fights, has he ever really shifted any serious punishment? No. Canelo hasn't shifted that much punishment throughout the course of his career.
But tough fights.
Tough fights.
Tough fights.
Going long. I mean, Crawford went 8 years without ever going the distance. So he was used to not having to do overtime. Canelo's been doing that a lot lately. So yeah, you make a very good point in that, you know, his wear and tear. He's 3 years younger, but he might be 3 years older in terms of wear and tear. Having said that, I still just can't see how Crawford does this, and I can see Canelo's head movement is still pretty good. If his feet movement isn't good, his head movement.
The way he slips, the punches are very good. He's able to slip them.
What do you think about this? Danny Jacobs, 6'1", 6'2", athletic as hell, long reach, couldn't land a jab on Canelo.
Yeah.
And I think that some of that head movement, it's not as good as it was then. It's still there.
My concern for Terence is ultimately there are weight divisions for a reason.
Yes.
And it's not because you can't go up there and have a fight with someone. It's your best weight is 147. That performance we saw against Errol Spence showed that that's your best weight class. No doubt about it, right? Remember, he's a guy that came up from 135 to 147. It's a big jump from 147, the Majimov in between, but from 147 to 168 is a hell of a jump. 20 pounds is a hell of a jump.
It's a hell of a jump. People love to bring up the fact, well, Usyk beat Tyson Fury, who was 50 pounds heavier. Heavyweights are not as skilled. It's as simple as that.
Furious.
Still not as skilled. He's not as skilled as Usyk. No. You're talking going in divisions where you're going up in weight, they're still very skilled and they're outweighing you. And I think divisions, as you said, they are there for a reason. And
sorry to cut across you, the Usyk thing, and the reason I don't like the comparison as well, is that Usyk is now used to carrying that weight on his body.
Yes.
Like Usyk is used to carrying 222 pounds, maybe starting camp at 240 and coming down. Crawford's not used to it at all. No. It's funny, I'm saying all this, I feel like I'm talking my way out of giving Crawford a chance here, but I'm just concerned about someone carrying the extra weight on their legs when they're not used to carrying it, especially if you're a mover, a switch hitter. All of those things are Crawford. Yes, he can stay in the pocket, but you don't want to stay in the pocket of Canelo. He needs to move and hit and move and hit. And I just wonder if he's got enough in the engine, because he's not knocking out Canelo.
Nope.
I mean, that would be one hell of a statement.
If he did that, honestly, that would just shock my world. Because I've seen Canelo take big shots. If Crawford can do it, fair play. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's always a shot you don't see. I almost feel like Canelo is able to adjust and kind of like really kind of force himself.
It's coming.
It's coming, take it. It's the ones you don't see that light you up. And Crawford's got kind of good hand speed, not Mayweather Pacquiao hand speed, but good enough hand speed for you not to see it. All right, how does Canelo win then for you?
Points.
Go on.
Points, I think it's going to be... I was going to say 8-4. I'm thinking that. I think Crawford early on probably pick up those rounds. But I think as it goes on, I think Crawford will turn into more of a mover, as in standard and trading. But maybe not William Skull moving, but moving where you're not winning, you're not doing enough to win the rounds. And I think Canelo will just pick the rounds up. He probably won't step on the gas and will probably win 8-4, 5-7. But it'd be one of those fights where you don't doubt who the winner is, even if it is 5-7.
Okay, I'm going 5-7 the other way, as you know. So I'm going Crawford to win it. I wouldn't be shocked if it's a split. I wouldn't be shocked if it's a majority. I think this is going to be razor thin. I think Crawford will win the early rounds and then the gas tank will run a bit empty because, again, the legs are just going to be heavier and Canelo will start to come on strong. And it's just a case of, has Crawford banked enough early rounds or can he nick one of the championship rounds? You know, when you nick a 10 and you needed that round 10 just to nick it.
10. When you look at it, you're like, that made the difference.
That made the difference. And I think that's what Crawford does. And I think we have a new undisputed super middleweight champion in the early hours of Sunday morning, September 14th for us.
We will be staying up for it. I certainly will.
Yeah, so will I.
It's going to be, well, my pick isn't changing. Canelo on points. And if I'm wrong, you will.
So be it.
So be it. But no,
so
no,
it's a tough fight. No. Look, Crawford get knocked out. Like anything could happen. Could get hurt to the body. We know about Canelo and those body shots. Anything could happen here. So no one's wrong or right in this prediction. This is one of the toughest ones. Hence why it is such a good fight. But look, guys, what's your thoughts on this? What are your predictions? Who do you think is going to win this one? Again, for me, the build-ups lack something. Yeah. But ultimately, come early hours of Sunday morning, I don't care about the build-up. I don't necessarily care about the undercard either. I just care about seeing two of the best pound-for-pounders that we've ever seen go at it. And I think that's what makes this very, very special. All right, do me a favor as well. The link to Gman, his channel's in the description. Please go over there and subscribe to mine. And thank you so much to everyone that came to the live as well. I forgot to say this at the start of the show. Thank you so much to everyone. It was such a success that we're already planning number 2. We're already planning number 2, people. So those of you that weren't there at number 1, make sure they're at number 2. But I'll let you know a bit more about that once we get there. Peace.
Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now. Ade Gman, brought to you by Undisputed.